9 days before the 34th Africa Cup of Nations gets underway in Cote d'Ivoire. On that note, welcome to our daily countdown on Sports Africa. My name is Ashalolu Afemi. We thank you so much for of course, for being with us throughout the time we started this daily countdown. And of course, people have continued to buy tickets. Nigerians, Ghanaians, people from Guinea-Bissau, fans of Cote d'Ivoire, they have continued to wrap up the tickets. And of course, these information are available on the website of the Confederation of African Football. So I don't know if you bought your ticket, but you have to be careful not to buy fake ticket, because there are a lot of racketeering going on right now. I don't know if Kayode and James Agrevi have bought ticket for the games, but all I know is they're here today, and we'll be doing, of course, the talking together today on the show. Guys, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, Femi. It's always a pleasure to be here. And thanks to all our viewers, and we see the views increasing every day, and we are very, very grateful to them. We are always here because they are there. We know they are always out there waiting for each episode of the program. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, James.
Very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Femi. Happy to be here. Looking forward to the biggest football competition in Africa, and can't wait to get started.
All right. Okay. So our fans, we appreciate you so much for your company from Nigeria Sport Fans Forum now to Sport Africa. We appreciate you so much. Okay. Today, let's get talking. We have just 2 countries. Yeah, 2 national teams to go before we conclude our daily countdown. But that is not where our program for the 34th Africa Cup of Nations will stop. As a matter of fact, it's just even beginning. So today we'll be going to the camp of Equatorial Guinea. They are in Group A alongside Ivory Coast, Guinea-Bissau, and of course the Super Eagles of Nigeria. James, I'll start with you. Equatorial Guinea, they do not have the best of stars, but at the moment now, if you've been following the information that has been released by the Confederation of African Football, it seems the 12th man might just work in their favor in Cote d'Ivoire, because they are not far off. They are somewhat contiguous nation to Cote d'Ivoire. But if you look at it, James, their game against Guinea-Bissau has wrapped up the second highest selling ticket for that game, according to information released by the Confederation of African Football. But how much advantage is that going to give them going into this competition before we talk about the game on the field?
I mean, it has nothing to do with what will happen on the pitch of play. Just part of the package that come with the competition. It's not just about the football, it's about what happens also off the pitch. So when you hear things like this, I mean, it just wraps up those excitement, and people start looking forward to this game, and teams involved in these games being spoken about. So for me, Equatorial Guinea, first appearance in 2012 as co-host, and I think the last time they did very well was 2015, when they now hosted on their own. So for me, the other worker used to say that they are, he has pots. So for me, I would place them in pot 4. They've not proven anything. Yeah. So they're just showing glimpses here and there. So there are teams that you just keep your fingers crossed. You know that even if they come out of the group, things about teams like this is once the heat start getting to them, because they've not been there before, they're not consistent. They just show flashes. So when the heat start getting to them, you know that at some points they will just crumble. So they've not really done anything yet. They've not proven anything. So you just still expect something good from them. At least you cannot throw away the performance of 2015, but we don't know what to say. Okay, because they hosted it in 2015, so maybe hold their home advantage. But now there's a different area entirely. So I don't know. Playing against 3-time summer champions and Super Eagles. I mean, the pressure will definitely be there. So
yeah, okay.
Let's see how things pans out on them. We are Nigerians who want our Super Eagles to win, but for me, I am expecting a very tough game, especially looking at the fact that we've met before and they've been able to give a good account of themselves. I'm talking of Equatorial Guinea. So the Super Eagles should not expect a stroll in the park.
All right. Kyle, I know you want to pick up where James left it. They have a mix of players who play at the home front, then with some other foreign-based players who plays for maybe second division teams in most of the European countries. If that might not even be enough to play in a CHAN tournament, not to talk of an Africa Cup of Nations where you have the best of the best in Africa.
Well, James took that out of my mouth. They are in my category 4 of teams in Africa. I ordinarily do not expect them to ruffle too many feathers, even though they're going to put up a fight. You expect that to happen. They're a very, very physical side. We've seen them play, especially when they played against Nigeria recently. We've seen this team play. But the good thing, like I keep saying, is their first match will be key. Their first match is going to be very, very important.
Which is going to be against Nigeria on January 14th.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it will set the tone for both them and Nigeria. What could eventually transpire in the group, And the good thing for them is that the Nigerian team is traditionally slow starters. They gradually grow into competitions. So if you are able to shock them, then you've taken your points off them. Then you know that, okay, whatever remains is, and then they don't get to play the host until the last game. So by the last game, if everything falls into plan for them, they could have gotten at least 4 points, which could ultimately take them to the next round. So they might not need to depend on their game against the host. For obvious reasons, if the host needs to win the final game, they are going to win it, Femi. So whoever is going to play the host in the final game should be wary. To get anything against the host, you have to do it in their first game. So if their last game is against the host, then they should get whatever points they are going to get before that final game, because the host will throw the kitchen sink at you and get the maximum if they need to.
Yeah, it is going to be James, just like as I said, Equatorial Guinea might be in a lot of trouble, but with the fact that Nigerians are slow starters, if you look at it, their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier, for instance, Equatorial Guinea, they are not doing badly. As a matter of fact, they are second behind Egypt in the group of 5. Would you say that they might likely be able to put that experience together, or if they are able to get a result against Super Eagles of Nigeria, against all expectations? Because like I said, okay, though you've said the support, the massive support they will have on that day might not be anything to count on. But with the experience from 2012 to now, do you think they might be able to put this together and use as an advantage?
Femi, the thing about these teams that we've always said on this program is there's always this break. When they do well in this competition, when you expect them to build on that, they kind of a slump. Remember what Madagascar, after 2019, where are they now? We hardly see them around, So that's the problem with teams like this. Maybe because of their size, so they don't have the luxury of players, so they keep using the same set of people, But they've not done badly. We saw what they did to the Super Eagles during the qualifiers. So, and during the qualifiers, so they've shown what they can do. And in the group stage, one thing about if they escape defeat against the Super Eagles, I'm tipping them to at least get the third best place ticket. I also they cannot even get the automatic qualification.
I was about to ask you.
Yes. Who says they cannot get it? It depends on what our own Super Eagles, because of the way they've been going about their business. The expectations are so low. So and teams like this, once they get the opportunity, they've gone all the way to the semi-final before. So they believe that they can also do something in this competition. Talking about their World Cup qualifiers performance, it's the two different things entirely. This is tournament proper compared to it's just two sets of games played. But so far so good for them. But they don't have that kind of experience. We talk of the big teams in Africa who can juggle qualifiers and major tournaments. So they just have to channel their whole in a particular competition, you know. So let's just hope that they do well in this competition. But I want to see all these teams come up. We've talked about Burkina Faso in the past. At least they've been around. So we know you want more of these teams to keep doing well, so that at least the competition will continue to be competitive. Not that you just see some teams that you feel that team that you can just wipe on the floor and you know. So for me, I expect something big from Equatorial Guinea.
Okay. Kyle, I know for the fact that they will be playing like home away from home because of the massive support they'll be having in the stadium. That is going to give them a lot of confidence. And, you know, but the fact that they've even playing in the semi-final before, that was in 2015, it's going to be another experience that we believe they will take to the competition. And as a matter of fact, they have 3 Nigerians in their squad. We have, of course, one of them being Charles Ondo. Of course, he was born to a Nigerian father, then an Equatorial Guinea mother, but he decided to play for Equatorial Guinea, even though he could play for Spain. Then they also have Huddersfield left back, that is Marvin Aniebo, as well as Koko Basi Obina. So you can't just say they have decent players who could just unexpectedly, because become maybe the surprise revelation of the tournament.
The thing is, we all like the underdogs. We want to see underdogs, like James said. We don't want to see the same faces over and over again. Once in a while, we want, and traditionally, the AFCON is a competition that is reputed to have every edition. You see a dark horse come through, go as far as they can before fizzling out. The Equatorial Guinea team that you're talking about, their record as having reached the last 4 in 2015. Was because they were hosting. And Femi, ask yourself, if they weren't hosts, would they have gone that far? That is, I'm saying this for you to understand where hosting could be either a blessing or a burden. And that ties nicely back to Ivory Coast now. That hosting does not guarantee anything. It could be a blessing if you are able to strike the right chord immediately, and it could become a burden on you if you allow the pressure to get to you. Of course, I can tell you that Ivory Coast will be under massive pressure because they want to win another title. They are playing at home. They have a new crop of players. I see the players that they are parading, and Femi, if I must confess to you, they do not. They are a relatively new team. After the golden generation of Drogba and the Toure brothers and everything. So this team could either go all the way and win for their country, or they could buckle under pressure. So what that means is that it opens the way for teams like Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau to steal their thunder. Of course, Nigeria will be a traditional rival, so everybody expects that whatever happens between them and Nigeria would likely not determine the group. So it is how they and Nigeria are able to pick points off Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau that will determine who goes where. So for me, I'm not right. See, this group for me is very, very open. I'm not writing anybody off. I'm not saying anybody. In fact, I'm not going to stick my neck out and tell you, okay, I was in the program and I said, well, one person said, Ivory Coast, that Nigeria will win the group, and I said, I do not believe. Based on the facts as I know them, I do not see Nigeria topping that group, although I think Nigeria will just do enough to get out of the group. Let's wait and see when action starts, Femi, on the 13th, going forward. But for me, I think Equatorial Guinea, just like Guinea-Bissau, Nigeria, and Ivory Coast, have a good chance of getting out of the group. Femi, I'm not sticking my neck further than that. After the group matches, whatever happens has to happen. But for me, I think either of those 4 teams will easily make the next round.
All right. Okay. Of course, Equatorial Guinea fans, they are still trooping to Ivory Coast. And one fascinating thing about the country is that perhaps I think they are the only country in Africa that speaks 3 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, and French. Though Spanish is their official language. That is a fascinating thing. And of course, they will be playing an international friendly with Djibouti on January 9th. They were initially meant to play Cameroon, but because of logistics issues, that friendly was called off, and they will be playing Djibouti. I know maybe Super Eagles at the Elephant, and of course Guinea-Bissau, they will be watching that friendly very, very closely, particularly for Super Eagles, because their first game will be on January 14th, and it will be against Equatorial Guinea. Guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on our daily countdown today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Femi. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Femi. See you tomorrow.
So to our fans around the world, we'll be going to the last country, the last but not the least, tomorrow, when it will be just 8 days to the kickoff of the 34th edition of the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for your company. Bye for now.